All right, we're going to get to it. We're going to kick it off here in just a couple of seconds with Jake Walters, former Alabama pitcher, Miami Marlins draft pick. Let's go to the Bud Light Hotline, powered by Adams Beverages, and welcome in a brand new member of the Miami Marlins organization, or soon to be. I don't know if he's actually signed the contract yet, but Jake Walters, former Crimson Tide pitcher, is with us. Good morning, Jake.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. Good to have you on. Where does that stand as far as have you signed yet? You expect it to happen soon? When do you report? All that good news. How close are you to officially becoming a Miami Marlin?
I mean, we're getting closer. They've sent me a couple things of paperwork through email, but I'm kind of waiting to hear most of the details till after the draft's over. I think they'll figure all that out and where everyone's going. But I think I'm heading down as late as Monday, so it should be here soon.
Awesome, man. Everybody's excited for you, obviously, here in Tuscaloosa. Your career at the University of Alabama, you stayed through your senior season. This past year, you had a really, really good year. But it was a time of transition, and I've often wondered, when you're a great player on a team that's struggling and you're trying to help the team win, but at the same time, you're trying to be as good as you can be as an individual, and all is just change. That really your entire career, it was Mitch Gaspard, then Greg Goff, then Brad Bohannon. So you're trying to help establish a program, get it back up. At the same time, you're trying to look out for your future and your pro potential. How difficult was that the last couple of years? I know you love Alabama, and we're going to get into some things that you did that were really, really good. But how tough was that? All the change that you went through and all the players went through.
Well, there was a lot of transition, as you said. Even my freshman year, we played every game in Hoover.
That's right.
We didn't have a stadium here in Tuscaloosa. But, I mean, going into every year, we're real confident. I feel like we worked our tails off every fall, putting ourselves in a good position. And I mean, SEC play is one of the toughest out there. And no matter what you do, you can have your best game and still lose 2-1, or you could have a real bad game and end up winning 15-12. I mean, it's just here and there, but I feel like the whole situation with me and my teammates, it helped us grow a lot. We grew a lot as young men and as baseball players, and I think it's only going to benefit us, the things that we went through these next few years, and I think it'll help carry some life skills into the next chapter. So,
Jake Walters, former Alabama pitcher, with us here on the Bud Light Hotline on the Gary Harris Show. He was taken in the 9th round of the Major League Baseball first-year player draft on Tuesday with the 267th overall selection. As a senior at Alabama, he went 4-5 with a 3.73 earned run average. Had a 2.89 earned run average in SEC play, which was the 5th best in the conference. He tied the career record for starts at Alabama with 52, third in career strikeouts, 292. And when you look at your career, Jake, that's probably the thing you're most proud of, is just your consistency, your ability to answer the bell, go out there whenever they needed you. Always, it seemed like a gamer, and I know that bodes well your professional future. I mean, a lot of people say that the most important part of ability is availability, and you certainly had that while you were pitching for the Crimson Tide.
Yes, I definitely try to stay as consistent as possible, just trying to give the guys, behind me a chance to win, but it also says a lot about the coaches, and they're trusting me to send me out there nearly every weekend. It honestly started with Coach Gaspard my freshman year. He gave me an early opportunity, and I started having success out of the bullpen, and it transitioned into starting on the weekends, and I was consistent for that year. And I guess he just never lost trust. But it was just kind of took off from there. I owe it all to my catchers, just dealing with me over the past couple of years. But it's a great honor to play for the university and do what I do.
You definitely saved your best for last. This is something I guess you'll remember for the rest of your life. I know all the fans that were there that night, or Alabama baseball fans will. Your final start was the best of your career. You went against one of the most potent offenses in the country in Ole Miss. You went the distance, gave up 4 hits, shut out the Rebels, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. You were in complete command. Your last pitch looked as sharp as your first pitch. Tell me about that start. And I know you wanted to go out, on your senior weekend with a special start against Ole Miss, but to have that good of outing Was there anything different in that game other than the fact you knew it was the final start of your career that allowed you to have such a successful outing against that team?
Well, going into it, I tried to treat it like no other start because I knew I'd be amped up and it'd be a little more emotional. And by the time I looked up from the dugout, it was already the 7th or 8th inning, and I was still in the game, and it went by, honestly, that fast. I couldn't tell you how good my stuff was that day. I probably had 1 or 2 days where I was feeling better, but everything seemed to work out. My defense was playing great behind me, making awesome plays and real timely plays. And, I mean, as soon as I got to that last pitch, it was honestly supposed to be a fastball way off, and I was a little fatigued. And I said, I'm just going to throw this one down the middle and try to end it right here. And it worked out, and it was real emotional for everyone in my family and my teammates right after that pitch, and a bunch of hugs and congratulations after that.
Well, it was, and how happy your teammates were for you, I think says a lot about you. I mean, they were genuinely thrilled to see you go out like that. I'm going to get to the future here in a moment, and your goals and aspirations with the Marlins. But getting back to Alabama, Coach Gaspard recruited you, and you come from a Mississippi State family. I mean, your dad played there, and you of course you went to Thompson High School there in Alabaster. You decided to go to Alabama with Coach Gaspard, and you played in Hoover your first year, but then that year, your first year in 2016 at the New Joe, you guys were 15-15 in the league and 32-26 overall, and it looked like there was some momentum building. Were you surprised when Coach Gaspard stepped down?
Well, I mean, we all kind of knew Coach Gaspard was on the hot seat. He talked about it all year, and how his back's a little against the wall, and there's a little more pressure. And I think we had to at least make a regional or a super for him to be sitting comfortable. I mean, I think he was a great coach. Really, really blessed to have been able to play for him and been recruited by him. But I mean, he probably had his own personal reasons, and he said he wanted great things for this program, only great things, and he said that he felt like he wasn't giving it to us, so he decided to step down. And I love the man to death. Wish I could see him a little more than I have in these past couple of years, but that year, 15-15, it feels like we could have gone 20-10. I mean, there's so many one-run games. It's just how the SEC play is.
And then 2017, Coach Goff came in. You knew there was going to be change. Maybe there was more change than people were ready for. It didn't work out. It didn't go well. You won 5 conference games. But I guess the highlight of that season had to be in a 5-win season in the SEC, 3 of them came in a weekend at Auburn. I mean, I know it wasn't good against Auburn this year, but tell me about that series at Auburn. You guys went in there. Not many people were giving you a chance to win a game, and you swept them. And a couple of games were incredible games. What do you remember about that series?
That weekend was insane. So for the rest of our lives, everyone that was on the team, I think, will be remembering that weekend. Going in, they had Casey Mize, who was obviously a great baseball player. They had Keegan Thompson, for those that don't remember, was their actual ace that year. Mm-hmm. And they also had a great Game 3 pitcher. And we tried to match them. And, rivalry games, football, baseball, tennis, swimming, you always up your game when you're playing a rival. So, we went out there, and they were long games. Don't get me wrong. We were exhausted, but somehow we came out with 3 wins. My roommate, that's a pitcher, got an AB. It was a crazy weekend.
Coach Bohannon comes in here this year from Auburn. I know you guys ragged him a lot about what happened there last year, but tell me about him. I've gotten to know him pretty well. He just seems like that. I know he's like any coach. He's demanding. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's got to do, but he seems like he would be a pleasure to play for. He just seems like a great guy.
Yeah, Coach Bo, can't say enough about how great of a person he is. He's even a great coach as well. I mean, don't let a record show you how a person is. It doesn't reflect that for Coach Bohannon. I mean, it's a tough year, him coming in after a transition year before.
No chance to recruit, yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's going to take a little bit for him to get his guys in there. I feel like we had a really talented group of guys this year. I mean, I don't know. I can't have all the answers for you, but just the staff he put together. Coach Zuli, Coach Jackson, Brock Bennett. Even my brother was helping out with the team, and
Sure.
I feel like all 4 or 5 of them we couldn't get any more from any other staff. There's a great group of guys. They adapted us well, and I mean, I'm looking forward to the future of Alabama baseball.
So you think that Coach Bo, moving forward, can get this program back up competing for SEC championships at some point?
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
Great. All right, the future is now for you. As we said, you've got the paperwork. You're just, it's going to be some crossing some T's, dotting some I's, and then you're going to get your assignment, and you're going to be playing baseball for money. You're going to be a professional. And I know you're prepared, and you come from a baseball family. You've got great parents, and I know you're waiting for this moment. But tell me about, what that feels like to be drafted by a Major League Baseball team, to know you're about to sign a contract. I mean, I know it's a thrill, but for those of us that will never experience that, or didn't experience that, what's that moment like when you get the call and the Marlins tell you, "Hey, Jake, we're about to draft you"?
Well, I don't think it's 100% set in yet because I haven't really seen any paperwork. But yesterday when I got the call, I knew it was the call. I was in the car with my brother, and we both knew, and just it like flashed before my eyes, just thinking about all the people that helped get me to this position, all the sacrifices my parents and my coaches have made, and just wanted to thank them, just in like a little silent prayer before I answered the call. But oh man, like I said, it'll probably sink in here soon when I actually start driving down or traveling to where I'm going to play. But I mean, playing baseball and earning money to play it, I mean, it's only the dream, and I've been thinking about that ever since I could pick up a little T-ball bat. But yeah, I can't wait, and I'm just blessed to go to the University of Alabama to share part of my baseball chapter. So
awesome. All right. Well, we know you got to get to work out. We're going to let you go. Final thing, though, you're going to an organization that right now, they're in transition. They're not winning a lot of games on the field, but Derek Jeter's there. This is his first draft class. You're a top 10 round pick, a 9th round pick, which we know, granted, there are guys that make major league teams that are drafted way, way low. But if you're a top 10 round pick, the organization's usually looking at you as a guy who has major league potential. To be in that organization with a guy like Derek Jeter, to know you're going to be given an opportunity if you do what you need to do to get there someday, how exciting is that?
Well, backing up to yesterday, it didn't hit until about 2 hours later. My brother mentioned, "Hey, you know who actually drafted you is Derek Jeter," and I freaked out because I'm a big Jeter fan growing up. I mean, he's just the best infielder I've ever grown up watching. But I mean, I feel like there's a great opportunity, especially in the Marlins organization. Like coming in my freshman year, like I was saying, I got an opportunity. I feel like I could possibly get one here within the next few years. I mean, I'm just so grateful for it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be surrounded by some great teammates, and I'll be playing some great competition as well. I think it's going to be fun, and I mean, I hope it goes well. So.
Well, good luck to you. Thanks for giving us a little time this morning. We're excited for you. We're proud of you, and we'll be following your career in the Marlins organization. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Yeah, thanks, guys.